You'll notice he no longer suffers delusions of humanity.
Affirmative.
What's up now, pump chick?
Has editing your content become a burden, or you just don't have the skill set?
I wish I could focus on content production, but post-editing takes so much time and effort.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
We'll look no further. Here at Asylum 99 Studios, I can help you create professional quality videos that will be sure to captivate viewers. With my creativity and skill, along with your content, assets, and ideas, I can bring your vision into the simulation. I offer the following services: video clipping and organization, content creation, VFX, SFX, and motion graphics, intro and outro assets. Requests may be taken upon further discussion. So if you're a content creator, short on time because you're out living your best life, or you wish you could focus all your energy into producing content, reach out to Asylum 99 Studios today.
What are you waiting for?
What am I waiting for? What am I waiting for?
Don't settle for mediocre videos. Hire me as your freelance video editor and create videos that meet your standards. Asylum 99 Studios. Release your creativity.
Back again, tribe. And this time, we're going to take a look how concepts or warnings come off the giant black mirror or the movie screen, and then make it into our third dimension. Right? You guys remember the movies Escape from New York and Escape from LA. Well, guess what? It wasn't a movie. It wasn't fiction. It was your future. So let's go ahead and get to it.
I think everybody agrees that's been paying attention that I am the police state New World Order martial law expert. Only because I'm 20 years old and they've got black helicopters flying around in Round Rock and San Antonio, blowing up buildings at night, and people I know have seen it, and then the newspapers say it isn't existing. And then my cousin saw them in Houston blowing up like 3 floors of a building at night. And this is in like 1994 when I was first getting on air, and I'm like covering it, and there's suddenly articles about me in the paper saying he's crazy, he believes in black helicopters. So I make some phone calls, check with some family, they go, yeah, that's Delta Force, they're doing training. Well, then why was the media denying it? So then I learned about Bill Clinton, and it came out in the news that they were having surveys, the Marine Corps, will you confiscate guns? And then a few years later, they start publicly training the military to confiscate guns, and it's in mainstream news. And then with Obama and then Bush before that, we see Katrina and clergy response teams that are the preachers trained to tell people to go turn their guns in. And we learned about this giant submerged iceberg that we just learned about the tip of. And there was this big move for martial law in America. And when they set up TSA after 9/11, they said, soon we're gonna have it at bus stations and train stations and subways and highways. And that was officially the original rollout plan, but they were beta testing it. And I said, you know when they're getting ready to really drop the hammer, and I've said this a lot the last year, when they start putting troops domestically in Chicago is the first place I guess they would do it. Which, by the way, Chicago's mayor announced 2 days after they announced, so it was 1 day after, 3 days ago, 2 days after New York announced National Guard in the subways, Chicago's mayor called for troops on the streets of Chicago.
Now, I could be wrong. I don't think I am. What happened when Donald Trump said he wanted to put the military on the streets of Chicago to clean it up? What did you blue-minded individuals, liberals, say? Oh, that's racist. He's a white supremacist. Right? But lo and behold, The Democratic mayor of Chicago is putting troops on the streets. You cannot make this up.
Well, well, well. How the turntables.
So I guess Chicago, because it's the most out of control. I was wrong. It was the second one, but I almost called it. I'm not always right. Just almost right, not right. So I said, when you see troops called out in Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, by the Democrats, for the crime they've created and instigated with the open borders and almost every prosecutor controlled by Soros, letting hardened criminals out, letting rapists out with no jail time, that is to create hysteria and fear and collapse of civilization. Because the IMF and World Bank control the third world. They've done that in Africa, Latin America. I mean, I've seen them do it. It leaked with Greg Palast 15, 16 years ago. He got the IMF World Bank document from whistleblower, and they said, the first thing we do is defund police.
Now, who did they use? Oh, who did they use to push defunding the police?
I smell nigger.
That's right. American. You did this. And we told you, you were Uncle Tom, you were cool, you were sellout, never Trump. Right? Donald Trump, all that. You niggas had rap songs, all that. Now look at us. And to make it all worse, you say, since we talk about Chicago, you same is crying about the migrants that's in your town, New York too. Now you crying for the you voted for with your dumb asses.
What's wrong with y'all niggas? What's wrong with you?
And have prosecutors let criminals go. We let that go for about 5 years on average. Then everything's destroyed and falls apart. Then we put in law and order groups after it, declare martial law. And
shout out to the original Lone Wolf. Order out of chaos. Y'all better open your ears up and listen.
all the value goes back up and we get it that way. Because you see, even though the IMF and World Bank have unlimited money, there's lots of little restaurants and shopkeepers and homes and businesses that won't sell, just like in Maui. But if you get a wildfire or if you get a crime wave, people will finally give up and move out. And Catherine Austin Fitts, who's like the deputy head of HUD, she's gone public showing in key cities where the attacks happened in the Summer of Rage, mostly peaceful, $2.5 million destroyed property. Antifa would go lead the minority groups. These are mainly professors in black.
American ninjas mixed in with the foreign ninja agent saboteurs.
Literally professors and college staff to attack certain key buildings, libraries, homeless shelters that were key real estate that the globalists wanted to get rid of that people wouldn't sell. This is very sophisticated fifth generational warfare. And it's being scientifically applied and beta tested, but now again, they're going into operational.
Welcome to the Asylum.
Come with me if you want to live.
So you got Alvin Bragg that when 5 or 6 people beat up an innocent cop and body slam them and give them serious head injuries, they're out the next day. That's a signal, commit all the crime you want. Now we're showing old footage, one of my films of the National Guard and Katrina with the clerk, with the preacher telling people to turn their guns in, but let's just continue and move on from that. So there's been this long-term beta testing on how to get people to stand down during a national crisis, whether it's a virus or a power outage or a solar flare or a war, or Rex 84 was what if the Russians collapse the third world and take over with communism and then flood the U.S. with illegals. That'll weigh the country down and collapse it. That's declassified in the late 80s. Well, now they've taken Rex 84 as a plan to stop that, which would have been martial law to stop it, which still wasn't good. And they're creating the illegal alien crisis themselves, not the Russians, to then have the excuse, well, the prosecutors won't prosecute, the police get indicted if they defend people. The citizens get indicted. You got some crazy dude who's been arrested 20-something times, beating people up. He's crazy strong, schizophrenic black guy. I think he's Michael Jackson. He's beating up black people. And 3 black guys and a white guy tackle him. He knocks him down. You know, the case 6 months ago. And the white guy's a veteran and tough. He gets him in a headlock and, you know, chokes him out. And then the guy has a heart attack and dies. He's going to prison for the rest of his life.
What the complacency of the bot herd has essentially done was made yourselves criminals. They're rolling out the red carpet for these illegals, and they're giving you hell. Why? Because they're trying to force you out of the cities. If they can't change your mindset, or if they can't get no more use out of you, they're gonna take you out back and give you the old yellow treatment. No, sorry. And what you have to remember through all of this, and it is no coincidence that this is election season, 1024, excuse me. I feel like some of these videos I'm putting out are very important because you're getting your warning before you take your hind parts down to the voting polls, which I know a lot of you dumb still doing. I'm not going down there. I know this is a game. But since I know that my success is tied to all of you maniacs, I gotta at least warn you so you can't say you weren't warned. Your lives, if you're not in the upper percentile of earning in this country, your life is hell right now. And you can sit here and try to play and say it's not, but you only lying to yourself. Think about all you suffered due to your ignorance. And in the words of the chief, being arrogant in your ignorance before you go down there and make a stupid decision based off emotions that aren't even yours. You're being manipulated. You are a pawn on the chessboard.
And the black folks testified, hey, he was protecting us. We were with him. Doesn't matter. Some schizophrenic, whether it's white or blacks attacking you, they're strong, folks. Crazy strong. That's where you get the term crazy. He's crazy strong. And some crazy strong white guy, black guy, doesn't matter, is attacking you and you defend yourself, your ass is going straight under the jail. And so what happens? The criminals are emboldened, things get out of control. And then suddenly, the governor says, I don't care what you think about the martial law we've declared. And she's the governor, but it's been done with the mayor too. And the hundreds of thousands of illegals they've just shipped in the last few years in New York and all the crime and all the craziness. And the fact people can't pay their bills, so crime's going up because of that.
As he's about to get into Catherine Hochul, whatever that witch's name is, with a W on purpose, not a euphemism. I want to start talking, about getting your eyes ready, right? Because if y'all have ever seen the movie They Live, that's not a movie for your entertainment. Somebody was trying to get a message out to you that you can see him. I don't need the glasses. Now, I say that because I want you to look at her. Allegedly her, right? Look at her. This is just a freeze frame. We're gonna get a better view of her here in a second. What do you see? What sensations do you feel? And I don't mean emotionally feel, I mean feeling, vibration, frequency, blah, blah, blah. What do you feel? What's the tingle going down your spine feel like when you look at her? Witch! I hear witch. Like I said in the last video, witch. When you dabble with these dark forces and entities that which we should not be parlaying with, in the words of the chief, you can see their minions. If you got the eyes to see, if you can see. A part of seeing is you got to be clear up here and in control up there. So you can differentiate what you're seeing. You won't be fooled by seeing a woman. She's harmless. She's just a woman. Look at all the damage this witch has done. And might I add, she was not elected. She was installed during the pandemic when they removed that pervert Kuma. Or was it Bloom? Wait a minute. Yeah, no, he's the governor. Yeah. Removing that pervert Kuma. He got caught up in a sex crime. and they put her ass right in there. I don't know if New York's elections came around, and if it has, and y'all let her stay in there, New York, y'all about to deserve everything that's definitely coming your way. Because I've been tracking these truckers now bringing you motherfucking food. Y'all in trouble. I personally suggest that you stay there and fight. And fix yourselves.
The angrier world, she says, we'll play in a minute. She says, I don't care, fine. You don't have to ride the subway. Remember before, you don't have to take the shot, you just get fired from your job as a nurse or a police officer or a firefighter. You don't have to ride the subway, you don't have a car, you can't walk 10 miles. But that's okay.
Because most of y'all are fat and lazy.
You don't want troops searching your bags. Well, it's not even gun crime they're having on the subways. It's robbery and people getting beat. And by the way, just since they started this 5 days ago, crime is still the same it was. They reported today. No let up on this. I mean, look, you don't want to put troops on the subway, but put them in the boxcars and give them the authority to beat the hell out of somebody that attacks an innocent person. They'll stop real quick, throwing innocent women in front of the tracks. That happens every week now. So they cut.
Tell me again, ladies, why y'all don't need male protection.
Any border control, pay people to come here, have the Soros prosecutors let everybody out of jail or not even arrest them, and then everything falls apart, and now they're going to search your bags and are setting up permanent TSA-style checkpoints at the entrance to the subways. Now, what's that about? It's when they were...
Thank you, Patriot Act. 9/11. Y'all remember that? I remember that. And when that shit went down, I was a 4th grader. And now look at the world we in. I remember because the year this happened, I had just moved back from living overseas due to my father's career. I remember not having to get patted down to get on the plane. I remember all that.
Release the next virus, folks. They're going to have the troops checking that you've got your vaccine pass to get on the train.
Make no mistake, it's coming. Just like last time, we don't know where and we don't know when. But it's coming. If you haven't been preparing since the last time, you are a fool. Straight fooling and drooling.
This is getting you ready. So they're telling you Trump's going to declare martial law. Trump's going to arrest all his opposition, but that's what they're doing to us. And I've got articles right here now confirmed. Here's the evidence Liz Cheney tried to bury during the January 6th probe. They didn't put real Republicans on the committee. Under the law, Republicans for a committee, or Democrats, are supposed to be able to vote on who they want on the committee, but they said, no, you can't vote. So they appointed a couple of known Democrat fake Republicans, rhinos on, and now they've destroyed all the video interviews and all of the text transcripts of January 6th, because January 6th discovered in their own fake hearings that it was feds and it was provocateur.
And if you delve down into the rabbit hole of the CIA and their operations, domestic and abroad, you wouldn't find this hard to believe. You shouldn't find it hard to believe because it's happening right in front of your face. But y'all are like, what's the bird? The ostrich that sticks his head in the dirt? That's y'all. There's a song by Ab-Soul. Enjoy your mind trip, but don't trip on your mind. No man is safe from the war going on outside. I believe that was from the song Pineal Gland. You are not safe just because you want to act like something's not going down. Y'all be the people that get caught in mass shootings because you don't think that something's going to happen to you. And just because it didn't happen today or yesterday, might not happen tomorrow, might not happen next year. But when I was in the military, my unit had a motto: toujours prêt, always ready. I took that with me when I got out.
And so there's a big article in Town Hall. Here's the evidence Liz Cheney tried to bury during the January 6th. Oh, turns out the Capitol Police and all of them testified, and so did the White House, and so did the FBI, and so did the U.S. military, that Trump wanted 10,000 troops for security for that rally because he was worried about riots or Antifa. Now, I don't need to hear that congressional report. I remember Trump called for it, and Milley threatened to resign when they tried to burn down that church a year before, and then again when Trump...
Milley, you need to resign. You sack of shit. I'm so glad I don't wear the colors no more. F you, Mark Milley. You flamer.
Called for it. It's in the news. You don't need to get a Liz Cheney document.
I used to stand in troop every day, waiting for formation or waiting to go home, whatever it is we doing, wait for instructions. And they had a picture of that motherfucker up on the wall right by that front door. I used to stand there and I would look at that nigga and I'm like, there's something about him and I don't know what it is. And this was like between 2016 and 2018 that I had to look at that picture every day that I was at work. I would look up there and I'm like, there's something about that guy. And then as soon as I get out, I find out exactly what it is. He's a traitor. Yeah, I said it.
She had it destroyed, though people go, oh, she destroyed it, so they pay attention. No, Trump did not want to have happen what happened on January 6th, but that's the point. They're saying he's going to declare martial law. They're saying this. No, what they've said they're going to do is they've got legislation introduced to do it, to strip the power of calling out the military from the president and basically set up Congress as the dictator who will dictate during an emergency. And to take the power of the Insurrection Act that George Herbert Walker Bush declared during the LA riots away from Trump, and they've said, oh, we know there's going to be protest, mostly peaceful, burning things down. It'll make 2000 in that summer look like a cakewalk. And when he does that, we're going to call him a white supremacist and drive him from office. So they're planning to burn the country down with Antifa, Black Lives Matter, all Soros funded, and Hezbollah and Hamas that the media says are angels and perfect, and they're using all the Israeli actions and the anger over there to export it here to create that event. And so 100%, let's put it back on screen. We're 8.5 months out from this historic election. This is what they're planning. This is what they're doing. And they've got AI systems out debanking patriots everywhere. That's a whole other story we're working on that nobody's broke yet. They've got all these blocking stories on Google and Facebook and everywhere, so you can't see what Democrats are doing. They've got all this gaslighting going on to skew the numbers and try to steal the election. When Tucker Carlson talks about it, oh, the mainstream media says he's a criminal. Why, you don't question elections, though the Democrats are saying Trump plans to steal it. And when Trump points out they've already stolen elections and been caught, oh, he's now a traitor. He's now the bad guy. So here's Hochul. Remember that clip where she said our new religion is the COVID shot? So do what God tells you and take the shot?
I remember that. She had a COVID crucifix around her neck. A viral priestess, if you will. Witchcraft.
Total freakazoid. Play the clip of her announcing the National Guard, and then play the clip of her saying, you don't have to ride on the subway, that's fine. You don't take the shot, you don't need to have a job or get groceries. And all over the world, they're putting in scanners where you got to show your iPhone vaccine passport to get in to eat, to get your food. See, they're bringing this in, folks. This is going down. Here it is.
Do not forget what you endured for the past 5 years. They're counting on you to forget or to bow down. If you bow down, you might as well just hang it up. When they tell you to put a mask on this time, you tell them to go shove themselves. If they're holding food inside that building, y'all group up in mass and y'all knock the building down. That's something when you go around looting stores. That's what you need to do if they're trying to keep you from getting food. Not because you got the free flowing fiat, but because now you got to scan yourself like an employee ID, a slave ID, to get your food rations. Wake the hell up.
Point 1.
Remember what I said about her looking like a witch at this place.
I'm redeploying nearly 1,000 members of the New York State Police, MTA Police, and MTA National Guard to conduct bag checks in the city's busiest transits. They'll start seeing them at the tables, making sure that weapons are not being brought in, working in concert with our New York State Police.
If you've seen the movie Escape from New York, what did it look like traversing around that city, besides all the sci-fi stuff? Like, pay attention to when you wanted to ride the train and do stuff like that. What was going on in that movie?
As well as our NYPD. Because no one heading to their job or to visit family or to go to a doctor appointment should worry that the person sitting next to them possesses a deadly weapon.
They're going to search bags?
Randomly.
Randomly.
There is a statistical...
What happens if you don't want your bag searched?
Then go home. We're not going to search you. You can say no, but you're not taking the subway.
You can go home for now. That's how it always starts. You can go home for now. Just like last time, you don't got to get the shot. You just can't do this, this, and that. This time, they're going to drag you off to a FEMA camp and put one in the back of your head and throw you in a ditch on top of other bodies.
Total violation of the Nuremberg Code. Basic right to travel, basic right to medical freedom, basic right to self-defense, basic right to a job. You don't have that if you don't do what we want. So this is martial law. And notice the key. It's not the mayor saying all this. It's the governor in a civil emergency or martial law that sends in the state police to the city. Like when Soros had all the police turned off, or a lot of them turned off in Austin, they sent the state police in the last year to Austin. That's a civil emergency. So they've turned off the police. They've released the criminals. Soros, Fannie Willis, all of them. And now, Alvin Bragg, now they're...
Mammy Willis, as I like to call her.
Y'all crazy black women.
...sending in the military to treat you like a criminal and get you ready. While they say Trump's going to put the troops in your life and Trump's going to have you arrested. No, Trump's going to just turn on the energy pipelines and bring the jobs back and restore the republic. And that's the bottom line, folks, and that's what I'm fighting for. I'm Alex Jones, Infowars.com. Tomorrow's news today, band.video. And follow me at Real Alex Jones on X. Stay with us.
Well, there you have it, kinfolk. What I strive to do over here at Delusions of Humanity is to present you with the information. Because a lot of my life, people told me I didn't know what I was talking about. I was crazy. I was negative. You're a pessimist. You're negative. You're scaring people. But guess what? Am I wrong? No. You can't deny any of this, folks. Because if you live in a city, like a majority of y'all do, because that's where most of the population is in the country, in the urban areas. I know because I live rurally, and there's barely anybody out here. It's much calmer, much more peaceful. You're seeing it. You're seeing the migrants come in. You're seeing them getting caked up by the government. You see them displacing you. You see the government telling you that you're not welcome. And if you stay too long, you're going to get boiled in the water, the frog in the pot, remember? Y'all been sitting in that water thinking that you're in a jacuzzi somewhere at the base of Mount Fuji in a hot spring. Just, no, this is fine. Me, I'm like, bro, this water is heating up. I didn't come here to get in the jacuzzi. I was swimming in the pool. This water's heating up. I jumped out. I'm yelling at y'all niggas. Don't y'all see the water boiling? Don't you smell frog legs cooking? What is it that y'all are afraid of? I know what you're afraid of. You're afraid of having to be responsible for yourself. Now, a lot of you think that within the system, you are responsible for yourself. Nope. You live on somebody else's system. They are your security. When they go down, you go down. When they go left, you go left. When they go to the CBDC, a lot of you punk ass motherfuckers gonna be on that shit. I already know it. I'm gonna be one of the outsiders that live on the outskirts, getting it on our own. And everybody knows they'll eventually come for us. But if y'all stop around, you can get some work done. You can get dug in and clap back. Y'all got a lot of thinking to do here in the year 1024. And with that, I'm gonna catch y'all in the next round.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy. So say good night to the bad guy. Come on.
I am a human being. I exist.
Delusions, Mr. Wordsworth. Delusions.
Send the word.